Hi, Stephen from Owner Disown. Going to do a quick unboxing, first look at the new HP Omen 15 DC. It's quite an exciting product because it does compete against the Dell G series, the G3, 5 and 7. And it costs $1,000 and it looks a pretty exciting prospect. And I will be doing a smackdown with the G3 that I've got. So let's see what we've got in the box here. HP like their posters, which is nice. You know, and I must admit, it gives you a full, access, looking at all the ports and everything like that. So that is quite nice to have. Of course, we've got the power brick inside. Now, I always quite like the HP power bricks, they're quite more stylish. They're not as angular as, say, the Dell ones are. There's a little bit more style to them. As you'll see here, it's quite rounded. That is nice. And it's, by all accounts, it's a 200 watt power brick. And let's have a look at, compared the size to the 181 on the G3. It's longer, but it is thinner. So that is nice. And it does feel more sleek, a bit more snazzy. And you know what, I do like the look of it. When I saw it I bought mine from Micro Center, and when I first saw it, I thought it did look nice. Although, to be honest, I'm not a super great fan of this plastic brush look. This here particularly doesn't really do it for me, but inside look nice. I really like it inside. So we have a, feels like a aluminum top here. Not sure, that feels like plastic to me. And as you see, yeah, we've got thin bezels on the sides, so that is pretty sleek. And let's have a look at compared to the G3, side by side. The screen is slightly taller, and but the bezels are thinner, of course. The palm rest area is substantially deeper on the Dell, I would say, so that might be better for some people. But I like having separate mouse buttons on the Omen here. I do like that, it's nice. And both have a separate number pad. That's pretty much it really. Of course, we've got Bang & Olufsen speakers on here, and that should be pretty decent. And if we turn them over and have a look underneath and compare, we do see some much bigger ventilation intakes here compared to on the G3, which are much smaller. And footprint wise, let's have a look at that. Wow, there's actually quite a big difference in the footprint. The Omen is smaller, and in terms of thickness, they're pretty similar in thickness. So I think for portability wise, the Omen is probably a good way to go. And they feel similar in weight as well. So I think, the Omen is a good choice. Now the specs on this Omen are, I've got an i7 8750H CPU. Of course, it's 6 cores, 12 threads, 16 gigabytes of RAM. It's one stick. And it's got 256 gigabyte of SSDs and NVMe storage, so that is great for this price point, and a 1 terabyte hard drive for storage, so that's nice. And it's got a 720p webcam, which is pretty standard for this type of price level. And as I understand it, it's got a 70 watt hour 4-cell battery, which according to like Bob in Bob of All Trades says it's good for like 5 hours. So that's pretty nice. Now he says there's no Optimus on this, which is a shame, but as he says, it's not a high-powered CPU really, at idle. And let's have a look at its ports in comparison to the G3. So looking around back, the first obvious difference we see between the Omen and the G3 are the bigger heat sinks here. They are much bigger and actually go back quite far, so the hinge is further forward. So you've got 2 of those, and whilst here, of course, the heat exhaust is through underneath here. But no connectors at the back for the G3. You've got the Ethernet port the USB 3 port here, so that's nice to have that. You got the HDMI mini display port and Thunderbolt port here. Nice to have connections at the back so they're all away from your mouse, and I do like that. And on the right hand side, we've got, of course, on the G3, you've got the SD card reader, USB 2 Noble lock. Not much going on here on the Omen. Hard drive activity light, a USB 3 port, and the power connector. And on the left hand side, we've got on the Omen the USB 3 port, headphone and microphone jacks, and an SD card reader, so that's nice. G3 power connector, Thunderbolt port, HDMI, Ethernet, and 2 USB 3 ports with the headphone jack. So the main difference, most of the ports on the back here of the Omen 15. And a quick comparison of the weights. The Omen, 5 pounds and 9 ounces. And the G3, about 5 pounds 7 ounces. So slightly heavier on the Omen, but you know, you can't tell that difference. I do like the styling though. It's a nice clean look, and I do like this brush finish with the red Omen up here, the power button here. Now I don't think that's not a fingerprint reader, so there's no Windows Hello on this. I don't think it does have a full GTX 1060 in it though, not Max Q, 6 gigabytes of VRAM, so that's pretty nice. Now if you're going to go look at competing products, what are your options? Now if you're looking at the G3, for $950 you can get 8 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabyte SSD, or $1,000 for the same spec as the Omen, but only with the GTX 1050 Ti. So that's a definite win for the Omen there. Now the G5, for $1,150 you get the same spec as the Omen, so it's another win there. And G7, actually they got a deal there, Dell, $880 for 8 gigabytes, and the 256 gigabyte SSD, and but no hard drive, but a GTX 1060. But still, that's not bad, $880. But for the same spec as the Omen, that's a crazy $1,300. So I think all in all, the Omen represents great value, and so, you know, as I say, I will be comparing it to the G3. I will do a separate video for a Smackdown, and in my benchmarks I will be testing it also against the G7 results I've already had. So, but any other tests, please put them in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. See you next time. Bye.